very natural. I mean, Matt and I had this relationship. You know, we were friends, and we were writing a lot of great songs, and songs that we had, you know, like these ideas for music videos, and we didn't even know that anyone was even going to care about our band, but we were already thinking about what our videos would be like. When we wrote What I Go to School For, we knew that the lyric of the song was going to form the treatment for the video, things like that. So when we started getting signed and making those videos, it was almost like dreams were coming true.
You know, I remember writing those songs in James's house, you know, and like we were playing them at Wembley Arena, which at the time was, you know, the best place to play in the world, you know, to me. And it was, and I loved it. I loved every part of it.
I remember when Charlie first got involved, and I think he knew exactly what it was. He knew exactly what kind of band we wanted to be, and he shared that vision for our band.
He was a real asset. There was no kind of like, it wasn't like he didn't add anything. Like he brought so much to the table, and it was and suddenly the band looked cool when Charlie was there.
I thought the idea of Charlie just leaving was completely. I thought he'd be crazy. I thought he'd be crazy to leave because I thought it'd be strange for him to just completely throw away Busted, because it was such a great thing at the time. I mean, it was good for everybody.
I never ever thought it would end. You know, when it was happening, you know, I never thought there was a kind of a time limit or oh, maybe we've got 2 good years of this, or, you know, I never thought that. I thought this was my band, and this would be, you know, we'd be Green Day in 20 years, you know, like I've never really thought about, you know, the end, you know, until suddenly it was there. You know, I just thought we'd carry on forever.
I'm waiting for the perfect time to call you back.
Isn't that crazy that you do something so incredible, but at the time you're just like, huh?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. You don't think of it.
You don't really appreciate it.
And now we're shitting ourselves because we're going to play one Wembley.
Yeah, exactly.
Get you, but don't know how. If only
I felt a huge amount of guilt when I left Busted the first time, because I knew that they didn't want to stop. I knew that I was doing something that was going to take that away from them, and that was hard to deal with because I really liked them and we were really good friends. So you don't want to upset anyone that you care about. I mean, so I did feel guilt, but on the other hand, I knew that there was no other way. Staying in the band at that time would have been as detrimental, because it could have risked our friendship.
if I slacked you down, I meant no harm. When I heard the stories, said things that didn't mean should have stayed gone.
I remember being on that stage, like looking out and being like, this is the last time this is going to happen.
Yeah,
It's the last time it's going to happen. Like,
That's fun.
And I remember taking a mental shot.
yeah.
And you didn't even know that.
I didn't even know, yeah. For the better, I think.
Sorry about that, dude.
I think it's probably for the better, actually.
I found out that day.
Yeah,
it was definitely.
I'm
I knew before the last gig. I knew
Yeah.
before the
in a
last
way,
gig.
it was kind of it was good that I didn't know. You know.
You would have been crying in your mouth.
Yeah, I would have been like not happy. Instead, I was running around like I didn't have.
Maybe I could meet you there. Maybe
I think James was very sensitive to the fact of how I felt about everything. He basically rang me up and said, look, do you fancy going to the studio and let's just spend a few days writing and see what comes out. So we spent these 4 days in Philadelphia and we came out with these 3 or 4 songs, and I remember thinking, this sounds really awesome. And we just seemed to be at this point in time having fun, and the stuff we were coming out with I thought sounded brilliant. So that was the real point in my mind where I thought, okay, this can happen. You know, I think this can happen. It's weird that this was never, like, no one would have thought. Not even you or me or,
No.
or any of us would have thought we would be here. Right?
No, it's still surreal.
Like that's
Yeah.
the weird thing. Like if you'd asked me 3 years ago, would we be sat here right now? I'd be like,
Yeah, no way.
yeah.
I would have people say to me about it, so is the band ever gonna play again? And I would say, look, you don't understand. It's never gonna happen. You know, it's not, and so it's.
But that's why it's weird for me
Yeah,
as well. You know?
yeah, totally, I understand that. Yeah.
And that's what makes it cool.
Maybe I could meet you there. Maybe I should meet you there.